Imagine this, a night that was supposed to be normal suddenly turns into a sea of people, completely out of control. Thousands of voices, thousands of lights, and one name echoing everywhere, Park Jimin and BTS. Welcome back to Jikook Lover, and before we go any further, make sure you like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe right now, because what you're about to witness is not just a simple fan welcome. This wasn't a concert. This wasn't planned. This was something even fans can't fully explain. Why did ARMY lose control? What really happened that night? And is this a sign of something much bigger? No one was truly prepared for what happened that night. At first, it looked like any other gathering. A few fans standing around, some holding light sticks, others just hoping for a glimpse of their idols. There was excitement, yes, but nothing unusual. Nothing that suggested what was about to unfold. Then something shifted. It didn't happen all at once. It started subtly. A ripple in the crowd, heads turning in the same direction. Phones slowly rising into the air, whispers spreading faster than anyone could track. And then it hit, a scream, then another, and suddenly thousands. The name Park Jimin exploded across the night like thunder, echoing through the air with a force that felt almost unreal. It wasn't just loud, it was emotional, raw, unfiltered. People weren't just cheering, they were reacting, as if something deep inside them had been triggered all at once. Within moments, the entire area transformed. What had once been a simple gathering became a massive, living wave of energy. Bodies pressing closer, hands reaching up, lights flickering everywhere as phones illuminated the darkness, turning the scene into a glowing ocean. A sea of ARMY. Some were crying, others were laughing in disbelief. Many simply stood frozen, overwhelmed by a feeling they couldn't put into words. Was this really just about seeing BTS? Or was there something deeper happening beneath the surface? Eyewitnesses later described the atmosphere as different. Not just intense, but almost electric. Like the air itself was charged with anticipation. Even those who weren't hardcore fans admitted they felt it too. That strange pull, that undeniable surge of emotion spreading through the crowd. And then came the rumors. Whispers that the members were nearby. That this wasn't random. That something important, was about to happen. That's when everything escalated. The crowd began to move faster, louder. The energy intensified to a level that bordered on chaos. Security struggled to keep things contained. Fans held onto each other, trying not to get separated in the overwhelming surge. But despite the chaos, there was something else. Unity, a shared heartbeat. Thousands of people, connected by the same anticipation, the same hope, the same overwhelming emotion. Some fans later said they could barely breathe, not from fear, but from the sheer intensity of what they were feeling. As if the moment itself was too big to fully process. And that's when the question started to spread, quietly at first, then louder. Why does this feel different? Why is this bigger than anything we've seen before? Is it because of Park Jimin, known for his deep emotional connection with fans? Or is there something else going on? Online, theories began to explode. Some believed this was connected to a secret project. Others were convinced it hinted at a major comeback. A few even speculated that this could be the beginning of something entirely new, something BTS had never done before. But no one had answers, and that uncertainty only made everything more intense. Because when fans don't know what's coming, their imagination fills in the gaps. And sometimes, that's even more powerful than reality. Videos from the scene went viral within hours. Millions of views, endless comments, reactions pouring in from around the world. And yet, across all those voices, one question remained constant. What actually happened that night? Some fans said they arrived with no expectations and left feeling like they had just experienced something unforgettable. Something that would stay with them forever. Not because of what they saw, but because of what they felt. And maybe that's the true power of BTS. It's not just about music. It's not just about performance. It's about moments. Moments so powerful that thousands of people can feel connected at the exact same time, in the exact same way. But still, something doesn't add up. Why was the reaction this massive? Why did it feel so uncontrolled? And why do so many fans believe this wasn't just spontaneous? Was it purely ARMY's energy? Or was something intentionally kept hidden? And if something was being prepared behind the scenes, how big is it really? The more the footage spread, the stranger it began to feel. Not because of what was visible on the surface, but because of what couldn't be explained. Clips from different angles started to surface online, each one capturing a slightly different piece of the same moment. In one video, a group of fans could be seen clutching their phones tightly, their hands trembling as they tried to record what was happening. In another, someone was laughing uncontrollably, repeating the same words over and over as if they couldn't quite believe what they were witnessing. And in yet another, a fan stood completely still, tears streaming down their face, eyes locked on something just out of frame. What were they seeing? Or maybe the better question is, what were they feeling? Because whatever it was, it didn't look ordinary. It didn't feel like a typical fan reaction. There was something heavier in the air, something almost intangible, yet undeniably present. And that's when the narrative began to shift. At first, people outside the fandom dismissed it. Just another crowd, some said. Just fans being fans. But the more the videos circulated, the harder it became to ignore the scale, the intensity, and the raw emotion pouring out from every angle. This wasn't just excitement. This was something closer to collective release. Like thousands of people had been holding something in for far too long, and in that moment, it all came pouring out at once. Some fans later described it as overwhelming in a way they had never experienced before. Not overwhelming in a negative sense, but in a way that made their chest feel tight, their thoughts blur, their emotions spill over without warning. One fan wrote online that they didn't even remember screaming, but their voice was gone the next day. Another said they felt like time slowed down, like everything around them became distant except for the sound of the crowd and the glow of the lights. And then there were those who insisted that something triggered it, that this level of reaction doesn't just happen randomly. That something, whether seen or unseen, set it off. Could it have been a glimpse, a shadow, a movement that only a few people noticed at first, but spread through the crowd like wildfire? Or was it purely the anticipation, reaching a breaking point? Because anticipation, when built over time, can become something incredibly powerful. And when it finally releases, it doesn't do so quietly. It explodes. There were also whispers about timing, that everything happened too perfectly, that the surge of energy, the sudden escalation, the way the crowd seemed to shift all at once, it felt almost synchronized, as if everyone reacted at the exact same second. But how is that possible? Thousands of individuals, each with their own thoughts, their own focus, yet all responding in near-perfect unison. Unless they were responding to the same unseen cue. And if that's the case, what was it? Some pointed to the possibility that Park Jimin might have been closer than anyone realized. That maybe, just maybe, there was a moment, brief, fleeting, where his presence was felt, even if not clearly seen. Because for many ARMY, the connection goes beyond visuals. It's emotional, instinctive, almost immediate. And when that connection is triggered, the reaction can be explosive. But still, that doesn't fully explain it. Because even among longtime fans, there was confusion, surprise, a sense that this was bigger than anything they had experienced before. And that's where the mystery deepens. Because if even the people who are most familiar with these moments are questioning it, then maybe this wasn't just another moment. Maybe it was something else entirely. As discussions intensified online, patterns began to emerge. Certain phrases kept appearing in comments, tweets, and posts. It felt different. I can't explain it. It wasn't normal. Over and over again, the same idea resurfaced. This was not typical. And the more people tried to explain it, the more complicated it became. Some tried to break it down logically. Large crowd, high anticipation, emotional fans, it makes sense. But others pushed back, because logic didn't seem to fully capture what happened. Logic doesn't explain why people who weren't even planning to stay ended up unable to leave. Why passersby stopped and got pulled into the moment. Why even those watching from afar, through a screen, felt chills. Yes, even that. Viewers who weren't there physically reported feeling something through the videos. A kind of secondhand intensity, which raises another question. Can energy like that really travel through a screen? Or is it something else? Something psychological? Something deeper? And then, inevitably, the speculation turned toward BTS themselves. Because if there's one thing that has been consistently proven over the years, it's this. They know how to create moments. Not just performances. Not just appearances. But moments that linger. Moments that stay with people long after they're over. Moments that feel bigger than the event itself. So could this have been intentional? Not in the sense of orchestrating chaos, but in creating conditions where something like this could happen? A carefully built anticipation, a perfectly timed presence, a subtle hint that sets everything in motion. Or is that giving too much credit? Is it possible that this was purely organic? A spontaneous explosion of emotion from a fandom that has always been known for its passion? The truth is we don't know. And maybe that's why this moment continues to grow. Because unanswered questions have a way of pulling people in, of keeping them engaged, of making them replay the same clips over and over, searching for something they might have missed. A detail, a clue, anything that could explain it. But so far, nothing definitive has surfaced. No clear confirmation, no official statement, just fragments of footage, pieces of emotion, and a wave of reactions that refuses to die down. Even now, people are still talking about it, still debating, still trying to understand. And perhaps the most intriguing part of all this is not what happened in that moment, but what happens next. Because moments like this don't just disappear. They leave an impact. They shift expectations. They build momentum. And when momentum builds, it usually leads somewhere. The question is, where? Is this leading toward a major announcement? A comeback that will redefine everything? A project so big that even this overwhelming reaction was just the beginning? Or was this the peak? A rare, unrepeatable moment created by the perfect combination of timing, emotion, and anticipation? Because if it was the peak, then why does it feel like something is still coming? Why does it feel unfinished? Like a story that hasn't reached its climax yet? And maybe that's the most unsettling part. That sense that we've only seen the beginning. That what happened that night wasn't the main event. It was just a signal, a warning, or perhaps an invitation to something bigger, something hidden, something that hasn't revealed itself yet. So as the noise slowly fades and the videos continue to circulate, one thing remains clear. People haven't moved on. They're still watching, still waiting, still asking the same question over and over again. If this is how ARMY reacted without knowing what was coming, what will happen when they finally do?